I want to start today by sharing a little story with you. When I was a young man just starting out, I had big dreams, but very little in the way of resources or achievements to show for it. I remember one day sitting in a little coffee shop looking around at all the successful business people coming and going in their fancy suits, and I thought to myself, one day that's going to be me. I'm going to be wealthy, confident, and in control of my own destiny. But as I looked down at my scuffed shoes and secondhand clothes, it seemed like more of a fantasy than anything realistic. How could this broke kid from a small town ever become one of those high flyers? It would have been so easy to just give up on those dreams right then and there. Thankfully, though, I had the presence of mind to catch myself before slipping into doubt and despair. I made a decision in that moment that changed the entire trajectory of my life. I decided that instead of waiting to have the trappings of success before I started acting successful, I would adopt that mindset immediately. I would stride into that coffee shop every morning, like I already owned the place. I would shake hands, make eye contact, and carry myself with the poise and confidence of a millionaire entrepreneur. By simply acting as if I had already achieved my goals, I was programming my mind for success. And you know what? It worked. That shift in mindset was the catalyst that propelled me to greater and greater heights. I stopped making excuses and started taking massive action every single day. I adopted the habits and disciplines of highly successful people. I invested in my personal growth, constantly reading, attending seminars, and seeking out mentors who could guide me. Was it easy? Of course not. There were countless times when I wanted to quit, when the obstacles seemed insurmountable and the doubts crept back in. But I refused to give in. I reminded myself daily of the unwavering promise I had made that I would stay on top, whatever the cost. I would not allow temporary setbacks to shake my unflappable determination. That is the mindset you need to embrace. If you want to achieve something extraordinary in your life, you have to decide once and for all that you are no longer willing to settle for mediocrity. Burn the bridge to a life of complacency and limited thinking. Commit yourself fully to the pursuit of your dreams and never look back. I'm going to let you in on a hard truth. If you want to stay on top, there will be a cost. Success does not come cheap or easy. It will require you to make sacrifices. You may have to miss parties, events, or dinners with friends because you were too busy working. You'll have to wake up early and stay up late, putting in the hard yards when others are relaxing. There will be times of intense stress, loneliness, and self-doubt. But I promise you, it will all be worth it when you finally break through to that level of freedom, abundance, and achievement you've been striving for. That feeling of vindication when you prove all the doubters and naysayers wrong is one of the sweetest tastes of success. The path will not be linear. There will be ups and downs, victories and setbacks, but the ones who stay on top are those who refuse to be derailed by temporary turbulence. They have an unshakable core, a bedrock of certainty that powers them forward despite any obstacles in their way. That's the type of iron-willed resolve you need to cultivate within yourself. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. In the heart of a bustling city, there was once a young artist named Maya who dreamed of opening her own gallery. Despite countless rejections, limited funds, and fierce competition, Mia tirelessly painted every night after her day job, transforming her small apartment into a vibrant studio. One stormy evening, with her most critical gallery review looming, a power outage threatened to halt her progress. Undeterred, Mia worked by candlelight, her brushes dancing in the flickering shadows. Her tenacity paid off. The review was a success, launching her gallery into the spotlight. Mia's unwavering determination had turned her dream into a stunning reality. You see, the greatest risk you can take is to play it safe and cling to your comfort zone. A life of ease and stagnancy is a slow death of the soul. As the famous philosopher Jim Rohn said, if you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan. And guess what they have planned for you? Not much. It's up to you to take full responsibility for your life's direction. Don't be like the multitudes just going through the motions and drifting aimlessly. Have the courage to forge your own path, to sacrifice what is expedient for what is truly important and lasting. And when you find yourself questioning whether it's all worth it, because you will have those moments of doubt, return to your why. Reconnect with the powerful reasons that drive you, that make all the blood, sweat, and tears worth enduring. Is it to provide the ultimate life for your family? To change the world with your ideas and innovations? To prove once and for all that you have an uncommon spirit and are capable of extraordinary feats? Whatever your why, let it be your guiding light, your fixed point amid the storms of adversity that will inevitably come. And let it give you the grit to keep showing up and putting one foot in front of the other, even when you don't feel motivated, even when the finish line appears maddeningly distant. Because momentum and consistency are everything. It's the small, unsexy disciplines that you sustain over months and years that lead to monumental results. Best-selling author and mega coach Darren Hardy refers to this as the compound effect, making a series of small, positive choices that seem insignificant in the moment, but add up enormously over time. He said, smart choices of consistency. Time radically compound results. So start stacking those small wins. The 20 minutes of studying your craft while others are scrolling on their phones. The jog around the neighborhood when your friends are lounging on the couch. The respectful follow-up to that prospective client or employer when others have given up. You'll be amazed at how those steady, simple disciplines lead to startling transformation over time. And you better believe that when you are diligently showing up and outworking everyone else, while they're making excuses, opportunities will find you. The universe has a way of rewarding the hustle, grit, and unwavering faith of those who stay on their grind. I remember hearing a quote from baseball legend Frank Robinson that always stuck with me. Close doesn't count in baseball. Close only counts in horseshoes and grenades. How true that is in any endeavor. Merely being close to success is still failure. You cannot settle for being a close case. You have to cross that finish line no matter what. So many dream chasers get tripped up in the last few yards before their breakthrough because they lack the mental toughness and resilience to see it through to the end. They hit a wall and crumble. But not you, and not after hearing this message today. When you feel like quitting, think about how far you've already come and summon the champion's resolve to keep inching forward. One of the biggest advantages you can give yourself on this journey is to cultivate an unbreakable sense of belief in yourself and your vision. Too often we are limited more by our own self-doubts and fears rather than any external forces. We sabotage ourselves before we even start by succumbing to disempowering thoughts and imposter syndrome. But from this day forward, you need to develop a deafness to those voices of negativity, whether they come from outside or within your own mind. Replace them with a rippling confidence, an inner knowing that you have permission to operate at full throttle and leave nothing to chance. Start speaking in unambiguous terms. Say, I am going to be a millionaire rather than I want to be a millionaire someday. This may sound like an insignificant mental shift, but it will condition your subconscious to start aligning with the identity and expectation you are affirming. You also must be willing to make bold moves and calculated risks to accelerate your upward trajectory. I'm not advocating recklessness, but rather having the courage to bet on yourself in a big way. Take that leap of faith to start your own venture. Pitch your innovative ideas to influential decision makers. Apply for that high-profile position that seems like a long shot. By making those fearless plays, you signal to the universe that you are an unstoppable force who deeply believes in your purpose and potential. And this bold energy has a miraculous way of attracting the lucky breaks and serendipities that can catapult you to a whole new level. Speaking of levels, always be raising your ambition and hitting next level goals for yourself. As soon as you achieve one milestone, be setting your sights on the next bigger target. Why? Because the moment you start coasting and resting on your laurels is the moment your momentum starts to stall. The great ones are always upgrading, always striving for the next frontier. Their hunger is insatiable. Look at icons like Michael Jordan, Oprah Winfrey, Elon Musk. Their drive to reach perpetually greater heights borders on obsession. But that obsession is exactly what allowed them to shatter norms and rewrite the rules of what's possible. So become obsessed with maximizing your potential and squeezing every last drop out of your God-given abilities. Be ruthlessly self-analytical and constantly identifying your growth edges and areas for optimization. And then take the steps, however uncomfortable, to keep leveling up. Let me give you another quick insight that will be a game changer for you on this journey. Fiercely protect your mindset and the influences you allow into your sphere. You simply cannot overestimate the power of who you surround yourself with and what information you are consuming. If you are spending time with negative, small-minded people who mock your ambitions or encourage you to relax and take it easy, you need to swiftly cut those toxic connections out of your life. Your limited thinking will only breed doubt in your mind and short-circuit your progress. Likewise, be hyper-vigilant about what you're feeding your mind through media, social feeds, etc. Endlessly scrolling through cynical hot takes and outrage bait is a fast track to polluting your mindset with scarcity beliefs. Curate your inputs by aggressively filtering out the noise and negativity and proactively filling your mind with empowering messages from uplifting books, podcasts, YouTube channels, and mentors. Because at the end of the day, this journey of persevering to stay on top will be waged primarily in your mind. It will be an exercise in focus, self-belief, and psychological toughness like few others you've experienced. You will be pushed to your limits and challenged in ways you can't yet imagine. There will be moments when it will seem unbearably difficult to persist. But in those precarious instances, those forks in the road where so many waverers veer off track, you must stay the course with a profound, uncompromising commitment. Never forget the stakes involved and what's riding on you seeing this mission through until the very end. This isn't just about money or status. This is about authoring the story of your life and leaving a legacy of honorable, heroic struggle. This is about staking your claim as one of the rare human beings who decided to push beyond the self-imposed limitations and realize more of their true divinely endowed potential. This is about defying the odds, transcending your upbringing and environmental circumstances, and forging a reality greater than what was predestined for you. When your kids, grandkids, or great-grandkids look back on your life many decades from now, what story will they read? Will it be one of courage, fortitude, and conquest in the face of adversity? Or will it be a story of heartbreaking, unrealized dreams, where you squandered your inner fire and settled for a life of mediocre discontent? That choice lies squarely before you in this very moment. You can keep doing what you've always done and remain on the treadmill of stagnation like the mass of humanity. Or you can decide, right here and right now, to become one of the rare percentage of peak performers who forge an exceptional life through their grit, hunger, and relentless spirit. Make no mistake, taking the road less traveled will be arduous. It will make serious demands on your character, your mental strength, and your tolerance for discomfort. As the old quip goes, if it was easy, everyone would do it. But the beauty of it is that by undertaking such an unconventional quest, you join the sacred fraternity of God's favored, those metaphorical few who have been touched to manifest their full potential in the service of a greater purpose. And trust me, there is no more rewarding, euphoric feeling than looking back on the tremendous odds you defied and valleys you persevered through to claim the extraordinary life you've created. To know, without a shred of doubt, that you gave everything you had and more to manifest your deepest purpose, that is the ultimate salve for the human soul. When I look out at you all, I don't just see business people, entrepreneurs, or corporate strivers. I see men and women created in the image of the divine with incalculable reservoirs of potential lying dormant within you. I see human beings blessed with rare gifts and a commission to leave an indelible, positive mark on this world before your journey is complete. But knowing and actualizing that potential requires fierce intention, clarity, and commitment. It requires that you draw a hard line in your heart, squaring yourself with the immense sacrifice required and swearing to yourself that no matter what happens from this day forward, you will stay on top. You will stay true to your vision and deepest values, no matter how daunting the path becomes. Decide to be that person. Decide to be the uncommon one who lives a life of heroic, unwavering dedication to your highest ideals and callings. The world is starving for those types of inspirational lives. Real people facing real adversities, and not just surviving, but prevailing and coming out on the other side stronger, wiser, and more resolute. Let this be the day you took off the shackles of doubt, of limiting self-beliefs, of convenient excuses, and fully committed yourself to the conquest of your dreams. Let this be the day you stood tall, pointed your compass due north towards your most audacious ambitions, and declared to the world, I will stay on top, whatever the cost, Nothing will deter me or derail me from living into my fullest purpose and potential. This is my journey, my hero's quest, and I vow with every fiber of my being to see it through until my last breath. If you can make that uncompromising commitment to yourself today, I promise you that the rewards awaiting you will transcend your loftiest visions. A world of limitless abundance, freedom and impact lies before you, if only you were willing to pay the price of admission. The choice is yours. Turn and run from the daunting path, or raise your sword in the face of every challenge and storm that will come, and resolve that no force on earth will prevent you from claiming the prize of a life maximized and a purpose fully realized. This is your time. This is your hero's call to adventure. Now, all that remains is to answer the call and then have the guts and glory to see it through all the way to the end. So what's it going to be? Do you have the courage and conviction to stay on top? Or will you wither and die 1,000 comfortable deaths? Choose immortality. Choose relentless self-actualization and a legacy that will ripple outwards for generations to come. Stay on top no matter what the cost, and your life will be an everlasting inspiration for what the human spirit is capable of. The path I'm calling you to walk is not an easy one. In fact, it's one of the most challenging and demanding journeys a human being can undertake. To fully commit yourself to maximizing your potential and achieving uncommon success requires a level of sacrifice, discipline, perseverance that will test you to your absolute core. Make no mistake, there will be days when every fiber of your being screams out for you to quit, to take the easy road, to settle for far less than you're truly capable of. The siren's song of complacency and mediocrity will beckon you constantly, seducing you with visions of an easier, more comfortable life. But in those moments, you must remain hypervigilant and uncompromising. You have to keep front of mind the driving why that set you on this heroic quest to begin with. Was it to build generational wealth for your family? To revolutionize an industry and leave an indelible mark on the world? To finally silence all the doubters and skeptics who never believed in you? Whatever that burning desire is, let it be the perpetual spark that reignites your motivation. Fan those flames daily through revisiting your written goals, vision boards, and the most inspiring resources that fill you with an unshakable sense of purpose and certainty. Because you are going to need immense reserves of energy, faith and determination to persist when the inevitable storms of adversity strike. The winds of criticism, rejection, and short-term failure will howl fiercely at times, trying to blow you off course. Long periods of grinding work behind the scenes with no immediate results will test your patience and commitment. This is when many aspirants fall away, succumbing to disillusionment and the temptation of an easier path with lower risks but also lower rewards. But you cannot afford to be deterred by these trials and tribulations. Respect them and meet them head-on with calm, steadfast poise, and an unbreakable resolve. In those darkest moments, one of your greatest assets will be the habits, routines, and disciplines you've ingrained within yourself. While the faint-hearted will be casting about for shortcuts and hacks, you'll be able to remain methodical and purposeful, relentlessly executing your finely tuned systems and rituals for high performance. What do these look like? Maybe it's blocking off scheduled times each day for uncompromised work toward your highest priorities, free from distractions and low-level busy work. Maybe it's adhering to a morning routine of exercise, meditation prayer, and reviewing your goals to fortify your mindset before the chaos of the day begins. Perhaps it's religiously investing in your continuing education by reading, watching, or listening to paradigm-shifting content that expands your vision and capabilities. The point is, you cannot leave the fundamentals of your success up to chance or fleeting motivation. You have to encode optimized behaviors into automatic habits that become second nature and carry you forward even when you don't feel like it. And be ruthlessly selfish in guarding your habits and high-performance routines. You will have to make tough choices to prioritize them above many other temptations and obligations. Engagements, frivolous time commitments, meaningless, busy work. Anything that threatens to disrupt your finely tuned rhythms of peak productivity and growth must be evaluated with steely cost-benefit analysis. I'm not saying you can never enjoy any leisure or downtime. Even the most zealous high achievers still make space for strategic renewal and recharging of their batteries. But you have to be highly intentional about it. governing your time with a miser's grip instead of lazily frittering it away on empty calories and distractions. Your life will be defined by where you chose to invest your irretrievable capital of time, energy, and focus. That's why you must be merciless in pruning away the inessential from your schedule and environment to create the space for what really matters. This may ruffle some feathers from time to time. There will invariably be people in your life, perhaps loved ones, friends or colleagues, who don't understand the intensity of your drive and ambition. They may see your all-out devotion to your craft or business as excessive, urging you to slow down, take it easy, or stop being so obsessed. In those cases, you must be unflinching in your conviction while still being diplomatic. Gently, but firmly help them to understand this all-consuming quest is simply part of who you are at your core. Reassure them you are still making time for what's most important, just in a highly strategic and purposeful way. And whatever you do, do not allow their attitudes of complacency or limited thinking to infiltrate your mind and cloud your vision. You may even find you have to drastically minimize your time around certain people if their energy becomes too toxic or they actively attempt to sabotage your efforts. As harsh as that may sound, you must be unwavering in pruning any influences from your life that overtly threaten to undermine your uncompromising forward progress. Your fiercest battlefield will always be between your own two ears. That means being hypervigilant about the thoughts and mindsets you allow to take root. Self-doubt, scarcity beliefs, fear, and other disempowering mental viruses will wage a constant guerrilla war against your subconscious if you let them. That's why building your mindset through empowering influences, books, programs, coaches, mentors, has to be a top priority. But even with these reinforcements, there will still be moments when you are gripped by intense uncertainty and feel like walking away from it all. Everything you've been striving for will suddenly appear riddled with risk, the goalposts seemingly moving further and further away, no matter how hard you push. This is a perilous fork in the road where so many lose their way, because when the inevitable storms of crisis and doubt descend, you have two choices: to crumble and settle for the mirage of safety and comfort, or to lean into the storm with an unbreakable resilience, gritting your teeth and battling through the gale force winds of uncertainty step by step. The latter path is indescribably more difficult in the moment. It will demand you find reservoirs of determination and faith you never knew existed within you. It will require repeatedly defying that voice of fear and limitation urging you to turn back. But by choosing the path of perseverance, no matter the cost, you will forge an ironclad mindset and unshakable internal strength that is truly priceless. You will come to know yourself as a human being of extraordinary resolve and character who does not abandon their dreams or highest values when times get tough. That journey of transcending your psychological and spiritual barriers may be the most arduous you ever undertake. But once you've walked that lonesome valley, staring down the self-imposed limitations that stopped others and claiming the ultimate victory of actualizing more of your innate divine potential, that is one of life's most soul-affirming experiences. And you want to know the best part? Once you've crossed that psychological Rubicon and reinforced that you are a person who doesn't quit or capitulate in the face of obstacles, it becomes almost impossible to splinter that iron-willed self-concept. You will have hard evidence of the incredible fortitude within you, which you can call upon for any worthy challenge or ambition that follows. This journey of persisting to stay on top, no matter what the cost, is not just about financial or career success, although those will very likely be incredible byproducts. No, this is about engaging in a full metamorphosis to emerge as a grander, more heroic version of yourself that has been pressure tested and rendered unstoppable. Through this fiery furnace of self-actualization, you shed the inhibitions and limited thinking that held you captive and fully step into the truth of your greatness and unlimited potential. Now, striding forth with a calm, grounded confidence that cannot be shaken or deterred. Now, resonating at an entirely higher energetic frequency that naturally attracts the people, resources, and lucky breaks to elevate you to dizzying new heights. This is not the life of the chosen few, but rather the birthright of any human being willing to continuously choose the path of greatest resistance, willing to stay fully committed to their noble quest no matter how high the costs become or how daunting the roadblocks may appear along the way. Through your persistence, You ascend to access levels of performance, power, joy, and influence that were always within you, but previously capped by self-imposed limitations. So decide right now, once and for all, is this transformation and access to your highest self-actualization worth the price of admission? Are you willing to shed the comfortable skin of the person you are today to give birth to a more heroic, undaunted version of yourself forged in the fires of your commitment, grit, and unwavering faith? If so, then welcome to the crucible, my friend. From this point forward, there can be no turning back, no more vacillating, no more compromise on the depths of your ambition. You are now one of the sacred few who has chosen the razor's edge. One of the elite initiates who will stop at nothing until you realize every ounce of your true potential and leave this world vastly transformed by the force of your focus, unstoppable. It will be arduous. There will be times when you question everything and wonder if it's all worth it, but you must persist. Stay on target, no matter how fierce the headwinds become. And I promise you, though, the path ahead is demanding. The greatest version of yourself awaits you on the other side, beckoning you forth into a new stratosphere of achievement, abundance, and self-actualized bliss. Claim your glory and decide today to stay on top, whatever it takes, whatever the cost.